All right, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Woo, we have an echo. Is that any of their mic on? Hello? Is that mic on? No. Okay.
Nope.
Thank you, Paul.
Switch. Testing.
Nope, same problem. Perfect.
Is it though? Is it? That wasn't it.
Is this any better? Not really.
Director Charest,
Here.
Director Cunningham,
Here.
Director Jarvis,
Here.
Director Cooney, here, President Van Vliet.
Here.
Hearing 5. Motion carries.
Thank you, Andrea. Sounds like it's fixed. So thank you, Steve, Eric. First item, is there a motion to approve the July minutes?
Motion.
Second.
All right. All in favor of approving the minutes as written, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Hearing 5 in favor, motion carries.
All right. With that, we have public official comments. So, Mayor Smith. They're pointing at each other. Mayor Smith.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing? I first want to say thank you to everyone who showed up to our open house. It was 105 degrees, but that did not stop the amount of people that we had come through. Definitely a historical moment for the city of Canyon Lake, for the community of Canyon Lake, and all Canyon Lakers involved. I want to give a huge shout out to the Chamber of Commerce, and more importantly, once again, the Canyon Lake Car Club showed up, and they really showed up, because they showed up at like 3 o'clock when it was the hottest part of the day, in classic cars that most of them don't have air conditioning, and they were melting away. So I think it would give huge kudos to the men and women there that made that happen. I also want to say thank you for those that do attend our coffee at the country club. Just last month, we had an opportunity to talk a little bit about what took place at Lejua. I'm going to let Darcy talk about the details of it. But I sent Lainey the agenda, and you could see that for the first time, and we were just talking about this, we believe for the first time for that board, Canyon Lake received over $210,000. It's always my fault. It's starting to echo again. There we go. So for the first time, that particular board met and approved roughly around $210,000 goes specifically to Canyon Lake. And you know the makeup of Lejua, it's made up of many bodies. So the fact that my colleagues on that board all voted 4-0, one was absent, to move those funds to our community is a huge win for us. And that's a big deal. Just For the record, most people don't know this, but the city doesn't have any involvement with the lake. But when it comes to Lejua, we at least get to send a representative. So that was a big deal. And I think it's going to be, hopefully we'll be able to get something out of it. Tomorrow, we do have our coffee at the Country Club in the morning at 7:30. If those of you online that are listening or here want to attend, it's a great opportunity to hear from your POA board members, along with our director, Darcy Burke, and then myself representing the city. So I think it could be a good conversation. We enjoyed that. And lastly, we do have our city council meeting. Some of you might have heard there is a citizens initiative that went around, so we'll be addressing that and looking at approving the citizens initiative. That's on the agenda for tomorrow's council meeting. Routine items across the board for the most part. We've been dark in the month of July, so we're
It
doing
might be that fire.
Any questions from the board members?
I don't know for sure. But that, what is the
I just want to say
citizen
thank you and thank you
initiative?
to Lejua for, that's going to be very, very helpful on the number of fronts of the lake in which you can potentially use that. So thank you for your efforts and just the joint cooperation among that's
Absolutely.
really makes a big difference.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mayor Smith, I also want to thank you for your personal leadership in getting the police department started. It is a significant milestone for our community. We're very excited. So thank you for everything you've done for that. Director Burke, come on down.
President Van Vliet, board members, residents, friends, guests, I have a little bit of a list, so I'm going to try and go quickly. Let's talk about the Crescent Valley Cemetery for a minute. So the developer has circulated a petition for the project, mostly in Corona, but throughout the county, and it's gaining traction. So I just want our residents to be aware that that petition will probably go to all of the Board of Supervisors, showing that there's widespread support throughout the county for this project. So even though they have to continue to work on their environmental impact report, they have not stopped their PR campaign. So for those that are working on Save Our Lakes, a word of caution. So I want to make sure that they are aware of that. I want to thank Genra for being able to track down where most of those signatures came from. We need to be diligent about that project. Like Jeremy talked about Lejua. So I want to talk a little bit about perspective of policy. When you get on a board, and for those that are new to this board, you walk in and you have, I have an agenda. I ran, this is what I want to do, or I was appointed and this is what I hope to do. But it takes building a coalition. It takes building the ability to get 3 votes. You can sit with your agenda all day long. And I just can't say enough of what Jeremy has been able to do for Canyon Lake in 1 year, because he's been able to build consensus. We've never had that before. And although some of the things that are happening, I want to also have realistic expectations. The study on the golden algae is something. It is not everything. There are experts around the world studying golden algae. One of our experts is one of the leading experts on all types of algae, and they've been studying it in Florida for a long time. This will augment that information. So it's not going to replace it. They're not going to come back with a magic wand or a recipe card and say, this is what we're going to do. So let's have real expectations of what is happening. The real win here is that Canyon Lake was recognized as worth the investment. And there was consensus about that. And that has never happened before. And the mayor has done a tremendous job to do that in 1 year. And I cannot say enough about that. The other thing that he was able to do, he brought to my attention something that has to do with stormwater. Oh, our favorite topic here about runoff and into the lake. There was an initiative for the MS4 permits by the regional water quality control boards that would change how the permits are done and how the tax implications are on cities. So I believe Riverside County hired Beacon Economics, Chris Thornton, who is a recognized economist, what the impact would be to the cities in our watershed. So for Canyon Lake, it's $80 million in 2024 numbers. plus trash impacts, plus, just to implement this new watershed management program. But what that economic study didn't take into effect is the water rights the district has on how that stormwater flows. No one owns, the water's not free here. Everybody owns every drop. It's accounted for by water rights in California. So they want to stop the water coming in from the north and from the east. And they want to divert it higher up in the watershed because that'll reduce the TMDLs in the lake. Well, that's not the word I use, President Van Beek, but we'll go with oh boy for now. With no consideration of what our water rights are. And we have the rights to that runoff, which they didn't take into account the replacement water that would cost. So runoff, although it's free, it comes with its challenges. Replacement water in the next 3 years, $1,500 to $1,800 an acre foot for raw water. And that all goes back to affect affordability and how we pay for that and what's equitable. And you can't charge a customer for replacement water in Canyon Lake that doesn't have the benefit of replacement and enjoying Canyon Lake. So the implications to that study and to Canyon Lake are huge. And I just want to thank the mayor. Since we are not authorized to manage stormwater, we just have the beneficiary of owning that water. I would never have known that study existed. So the mayor being plugged in and not looking at things from one perspective. And I'll give you an example. I talk to people all the time. They look at it from boating. They look at it from fishing. They look at it from my view. You have to look at it holistically. And I really want to thank the mayor personally for bringing that to our attention. We did write a letter. I'm sure the city's going to write a letter. But they're hoping that people don't know, or that new people are elected that have no clue, that don't know. And it just goes right on by. The state is changing its perspective from managing as a regional management plan. Integrated regional management plan is what we do. We have to do it every 10 years. To watershed management, which means you're taking our ability to manage our water away from us and you're giving it to the Regional Water Quality Control Board that manage for one thing, the environment, not for people. So we need to be diligent about how we're represented in these regional groups. And I thank the city for taking it seriously. I also want to let people know, especially those that may have youngsters that have e-bikes or illegal motorcycles that like to go to the dam and tag or light M80s, that we now have cameras that record and have voice activation. And with the new chief, those kids may not be coming home for dinner if they do it again. It's a federal offense to try to blow up a dam. If you didn't know, now you do. We finally have a new assistant general manager, Heather McKillop. We waited 1.5 years to find the right person. We're very excited. She's our business services assistant general manager. Hopefully you all get to meet her soon. Back to the lake. Weed killer and bug spray. Not on your dock, not on your boat, not on your backyard if you're waterfront. It all runs into the lake. We could spend a whole day on that, and hopefully I don't have to. Maybe the Lake Education Advocacy Committee could help get the word out, because it's not okay. I also was tagged a couple times about an earmark or a congressional directed spending community grant that Congressman Calvert got for the city of Lake Elsinore for the lake in Elsinore for $8 million for some improvements that they've been asking for. Elsinore Valley got $10 million for water treatment improvements. So PFAS, my favorite contaminant du jour, is going to cost us hundreds of millions of dollars. And the congressman has been so generous giving us segments of money. I think we're up to like $21 million just on PFAS treatment alone from the congressman. So why aren't we asking for recreation? Because drinking water has to be the priority. So other things that we can ask for in the future, source water protection, monitoring, those types of things, when we can tie it back to the new water treatment plant, there may be some hope for some funding and we can go from there. But the impact to your bill and to a water affordability on PFAS alone is substantial. And finally, you may have heard about all the cybersecurity breaches in Minnesota and Michigan for water and wastewater treatment. They have been directly linked to Russia and China. And I've had a number of people call me and say, oh yeah. And all I've been able to confirm is Russia and China. I'm sure there's others. It's actually 7 states. I happen to know that, but I can't tell you how I know that. And more will be coming out. We are always on red alert. We are never not on red alert. We have a whole department that is extremely diligent, and we pay people to try to breach us on a regular basis so that we can stay on red alert and diligent. So it's not a matter of if they break in, we figure they're already there waiting. So it's how we scour our systems, make sure that they're not all interconnected. It is really an art, a science, and it's something that is a culture where we are, from the board members that get training all the way down to our temporary assistants that help for customer service. But I've had a lot of questions about the Michigan and Minnesota. Those are the only 2 states that have come forward and said, yeah, it was us. There are 5 more that were impacted directly. So, and I'm sure there's more to come. That's all I have at the moment. Oh, and coffee tomorrow, don't forget.
Great update, Darcy. Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate everything you do.
Thank you.
Can I jump in front of you? Is there a couple of announcements? Before we get to a presentation, since we have such a great crowd here, we have a couple of announcements for incidents that happened recently, and they've been making their way around social media. So I want to provide ground truth on what's been happening. One, there was an incident at Sunset Beach. Many of you saw there was an altercation, a fight that happened. Just to let everyone know, there were 2 incidents, and it turns out they were all the same incident. There was a guest that came in who was intoxicated, who crashed into a pole, passed out in the car. Other people who were at the beach tried to revive him and took his keys away to prevent him from going out and driving again, and called 911 right away for assistance. While the police and community patrol were responding, the intoxicated person woke up and started a brawl and fighting on the beach. It was all one incident. The person was arrested. I don't know if he's still in jail or not. He was for several days. And he has been booked, and the prime member who called that individual in is being cited for their members, or for the guests' activity. So I want to let everyone know, because there's a lot of rumors going on. Just want to let everyone know what kind of happened there. Also, this past weekend, there was another incident on the golf course where we had an e-bike riding on 2 of the golf greens, and they have made a habit of jumping out of the sand traps onto the golf green and damaged 2 of the golf greens. Thanks to an alert public and members who were able to take pictures of the individual and bring it to everyone's attention, we were able to identify the individual that happened. The parents have been contacted, and action is being taken to get it repaired, and damages and fines associated with that made accordingly. So again, thanks to the public for cooperating together. But those are 2 incidents that and just want to remind everybody, no e-bikes are allowed on the golf course. No e-bikes are allowed at this peninsula unless they're walked. And just want to continue to remind people of that. So that's it for announcements. With that, let's get to the fun stuff.
Thanks, Bill. Everybody hear me okay? Okay. Some volunteers give their time. Others build programs. A rare few build community. Nicole Taylor is one of those people. Through her leadership, collaboration, and unwavering commitment to service, Nicole has made Canyon Lake stronger, not by asking others to solve problems, but by bringing people together to solve them. Her contributions have strengthened our organizations, inspired others to volunteer, and demonstrated what servant leadership truly looks like. Since joining the Mermaid Club in March of 22, Nicole immediately stepped into a leadership role as a membership chair and has proudly served as president since 2024. Founded in 2020 by Lynn Hall, the Mermaid Club was created to give back to the community through philanthropic activities while fostering friendship sisterhood, and belonging among women ranging in age from 21 to 90. Under Nicole's leadership, the club continues to innovate while remaining true to its mission. The best example is Treasure Cove Adventure, a new community event featuring more than 10 carnival games and challenges, but more importantly, it brought numerous clubs together to create something that would have been difficult for any single club to accomplish alone. It perfectly reflects Nicole's belief that communities are strongest when people work together. That philosophy defines everything she does. Nicole believes that if something can be better, she quietly gathers the right people and gets to work. She doesn't complain about problems, she solves them. Her commitment extends far beyond the Mermaid Club. Whether volunteering with the Yacht Club's Parade of Lights, decorating an event setup, assisting with Lions Club Bingo, supporting the Senior Center, or helping another organization succeed, Nicole never asks whether it is her event. If there is a need, she simply shows up. She also created the annual Canyon Lake Community Calendar, an innovative fundraiser that showcases the beauty of our community through a year-long photography contest while promoting local clubs and businesses. Like so many of her ideas, it creates opportunity that benefits everyone. As many have come to know, if Nicole says she is going to do something, consider it done. She follows through, earns trust, and inspires others to become involved. Nicole's servant heart extends beyond Canyon Lake through her volunteer work with Michelle's Place Cancer Resource Center, where she supports the organization in providing services, resources, and a caring community for women navigating cancer. Since moving to Canyon Lake from Mission Viejo, Nicole and her husband have embraced the community wholeheartedly. Their home has become a gathering place, hosting neighborhood happy hours that have brought friends and neighbors together while creating lasting friendships throughout the community. She is often the first to volunteer, organize, welcome a newcomer, celebrate a friend's birthday, or quietly step in whenever their help is needed. Nicole is also an avid animal lover and a proud parent of 3 rescue cats. Her installation of bat boxes, with her help of her husband Jeff, to provide safe habitats for wildlife while naturally reducing insects reflects her significant and thoughtful approach to problem solving, finding solutions that benefit both people and the environment. But one of Nicole's greatest gifts is her optimism. She is genuinely a glass half full person whose positive outlook is infectious. She has an extraordinary ability to redirect challenges into opportunities and encourage others to focus on solutions instead of obstacles. Despite everything she's accomplished, Nicole has never sought recognition. In fact, this public acknowledgement is probably one of the last things she would ever want. She would much rather be behind the scenes organizing the next event, recruiting another volunteer, or helping another organization succeed than standing in the spotlight herself. Communities are not defined by their amenities. They're defined by the people who choose to make them better every single day. Nicole's greatest contribution extends far beyond the events she has organized or the hours she has volunteered. She has helped create a culture where organizations work together instead of independently, where collaboration replaces competition, and where people choose action over criticism. She does not ask whose job it is. She simply asks, how can I help? On behalf of the Canyon Lake Property Owners Association Board of Directors, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Nicole Taylor, not only for her extraordinary service, but also for her collaborative spirit she has inspired throughout our community. Her willingness to identify opportunities for improvement, bring the right people together, and focus on solutions has strengthened organizations, enriched our community, and left a lasting impact on Canyon Lake. Nicole, thank you for your leadership, your generous heart, and your unwavering belief that communities are strongest when people work together. Thank you for reminding all of us that the best way to improve Canyon Lake is not to complain about what could be better, but to become part of making it better. You guys can't get out of the dunk tank. You guys all
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Thank you all. This, just like Lainey said, this was not something that I enjoy as being in the spotlight. But I really do appreciate this more than anything. And I love the community that much. Really, I do. So thanks, you guys.
Pardon me. Yeah. So I want to let everyone know, we sure enjoy these Member of the Month, Employee of the Quarter. Starting next month, we have a new award program we're going to be implementing. It's the Club of the Month to recognize the value that the clubs bring to the community. And so for those of you who are out there, if you see any great things done by the clubs, think they deserve recognition, please send us your recommendations. We would love to see them recognized and celebrated for all the things they do for our community. Okay, Andre, do we have any members to discuss non-agenda items?
Yes, we have Dave Webb or David Webb. Come on up, sir.
Thank you, Dave. Come on up.
Yes, I have lived in Canyon Lake, built my house 35 years ago. No problems. We've had a great time here. My wife passed away a year and a half ago. And one of the pleasures I had in life is to take my dog and we go to Evans Park. We sit on the grass, I read a book, listen to radio, and greet all the other dog walkers. And somebody has put up a sign, no more dogs touching the grass, which I have no idea. That makes no sense whatsoever. Dogs don't hurt grass. It doesn't matter. And just like, it's ruined my peace of life. So that's about all I got to say.
Dave, first off, our condolences. Your wife Cindy was a beautiful soul and bright light, and I know how difficult it continues to be when you lose someone like that. So, our condolences on that, and thank you for bringing this to our attention. I know we've had some guests or some members have complained about dogs not on leashes and so forth, but we'll certainly take a look into what into what you recommended and for bringing that into our awareness and see if something can be done. But appreciate that. We certainly want our members to go out and enjoy the amenities, to meet and sit and talk, have fellowship with your pets, and we want to continue to enable that.
Thank you.
No further comments.
All right, thanks. All right, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as written, which would be items A, B, and C, as the financial statements, report of executive session, and authorization of liens?
Motion. I'll second.
Okay, we have first and second. All in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
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 Are there any opposed?
Hearing 5 in favor, motion carries.
Perfect. All right, Tiffany, let's talk about light requirements.
Good evening. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, perfect. So this item originated with the Security Advisory Committee, and it updates our e-bike lighting requirements to align with California law. The revised rule requires white headlight visibility from 300 feet between sunset and sunrise, along with rear red reflector and qualifying red light visible from 500 feet at all times. It was sent over to the Rules and Regulations Review Committee, and they unanimously agreed with the Security Advisory Committee recommendation. And with this rule, there's no fiscal impact, and it is recommended that the board approve the 28-day reading.
Thank you, Tiffany. Do we have a motion to approve the reading?
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any member comments or clarifications or questions they'd like to ask about this new rule? No. Board comments, questions? No. I have two. If I can find. First of all, love the fact being consistent with state regulations and rules, and I absolutely believe it's imperative to have lights, particularly at night. A lot of the kids wear dark colors, and the fact that we live in a community without sidewalks, without streetlights, this is a major safety factor. So thank you to the security committee for bringing this forward. But two questions. First of all, we have registration tags. How will this requirement of making sure you have a rear light on impact the registration tags? Are we still able to have them? Will it interfere with them, or what's the thought of that?
As I understand it, most of the e-bikes that are coming out today already have these reflectors on them. And so the tags are fitting around them already. So it shouldn't impact any of the newer e-bikes. I'm not really clear on the older ones that don't have them, but I would imagine they'd be able to rig it up and have them hang down.
Perfect. Thank you. The other question is, if this rule were approved and it was enacted, what's the fine amount that would be anticipated for violation of this rule?
We didn't recommend a fine change with this one. Off the top of my head, I thought it was maybe $250. Ken, do you know by chance? No, I can look it up if you get.
Yeah, we can clarify that for the next vote then. So, okay. Any other comments, questions? All in favor of approving the 28-day reading, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Hearing five in favor, motion carries.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, Tiffany, you have the next one too.
Okay, so this next one is a consolidation of the Lake and Marina section. The Rules and Regulations Review Committee completed a pretty comprehensive review of this section, and the proposed revisions reorganize, consolidate the rules, remove outdated or procedural language, and incorporate updated boating inspection and safety requirements recommended by our Marine Patrol. The proposed revisions do include 3 changes to the fine schedule: increasing the fine for swimming in tunnels from $100 to $500, establishing a $250 fine for violating no wake zones and restricted times, and establishing a $200 fine for plowing. 4 existing fines are also being removed because those rules were consolidated into other provisions with their own fines. It is recommended the board approve the 28-day reading of the proposed revisions to the Lake and Marina section.
Thanks, Tiffany. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All right. Any member comments, questions about it? Okay. Director comments, questions? No. I'll ask a couple. The increased fines, are those consistent with AB 130?
I think once the 28-day reading is approved, legal's going to review those fines and ensure that they're compliant.
Correct. And any fines that are over that, if they are, then legal will do a separate resolution regarding that, if it's regarding safety and health.
So we would have to do that separately from.
Yes, we would do that in September if
Okay.
it's approved. Correct.
But specifically swimming in the tunnel and the others were identified safety related.
And the ones that are new in there, they were pulled away from other rules. So we kept the same fine structure as the rule they were pulled away from.
Well, I want to commend the Rules Committee. This whole project of trying to slim down our copious rules document has been a labor of love for years now. And there's a lot of work that went into this. I want to thank you and the committee for all of their efforts in getting this. It's really a great job. Great job. Okay, all in favor of approving the 28-day reading, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Hearing five in favor, motion carries.
Thank you, Tiffany. Do you want to go out of order and take the next one since you're up here? We'll go right to 8.4 since you have the floor.
Okay, this one is a recommendation for the Recreation Committee. There's currently one open position on the Recreation Committee. Following an interview, the committee has selected Janie Jarvis to fill the vacancy. Janie has been a Canyon Lake property owner since 2020 and brings extensive committee and community event experience. It is recommended the board approve her appointment effective immediately, contingent upon execution of a confidentiality agreement.
Thanks, Tiffany. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion. Okay, I'll second.
Okay. Member comments? Director comments or questions? All in favor of approving Janie Jarvis to the Recreation Committee, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hearing five in favor, motion carries.
All right. Thank you, Tiffany. Let's back up and have Cheryl talk to us about holiday decorations. Seems like August is a good time to talk about holiday decorations. It's not too far away. How many pumpkin spice is already out, isn't it?
Thank you very much. Yes, the Rules Committee discussed a suggestion to the holiday decorations rules for PC 4.24. The current rule was below here on the upper reference. It talks about the 15 days after the holiday. So the committee is suggesting two key changes, extending the removal period from 15 days to 30 days following the holiday, and allowing end-of-year decorations like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's to begin on November 1st. These updates reflect the more elaborate decorations seen in the community, which is so beautiful, along with the events and contests tied to this display. It is recommended the Board of Directors approve the rule revision for a 28-day reading for the PC 4.24 as submitted.
Great. Thank you, Cheryl. Is there a motion?
Motion.
I'll second it. Any member comments, questions? Director comments or questions?
Does this follow a standard, HOA standard? I mean, or do other HOAs?
The answer is yes. Does it follow the exact what everybody else does? That I couldn't answer.
Varies by, I imagine it varies by.
The timing.
Yes.
A lot of the rules, as we've been talking about in the Rules Committee, were established a long time ago when, this was vacation houses or whatever, but given all the events and I think the Rules Committee, rightfully so, and I'm thrilled about it, has just allowed people, because if you go away for vacation after, let's call it Christmas holiday, you can be in violation right away. So extension just allows people to have a little bit more time to, to break down what they've spent time putting out.
All in favor of approving the ruling, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hearing five in favor.
Thank you,
motion
Cheryl.
carries.
All right, Steve.
Good evening. This is reserve funding for golf field netting for Field 2. It was requested by the Board of Directors to obtain bids to replace the netting that was removed in early 2020 from Field 2. This is the Little League field. In late 2019, the netting and wooden poles needed to be replaced. It was recommended by Little League and the Recreation Committee that the netting didn't need to be replaced because the field was no longer used by the adult leagues. Since then, it's been discovered that balls have been hit out of the park by adults using the field during non-league play and practice hitting in the outfield. The poles will be metal and the netting will match what was there prior to 2020, approximately 300 feet long and 50 feet high. Fiscal impact is $134,000 with permit fees plus a 5% contingency from the reserves. Staff requests the Board of Directors to approve the funding of $134,000 plus 5% contingency from the Reserve Fund 026700 for the golf field netting project on Field 2.
Thank you, Steve. Is there a motion to approve? To approve this item? Do motion first.
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
Okay. Member comments or questions? Board member comments or questions? Clarifications? You know, I will say one thing, we've been taking a look at a number of our facilities. If you remember a couple of years ago, we had an incident at Galt Field where one of the poles went down and so forth. And so this is again, really focused on just safety. Although Little League predominantly uses that field, it is used by adult softball and others. And it's just for safety for cars on Longhorn and residents in the area to do this. And so it was taken down in 2020, has not been up for 6 years. So now what we're saying is that's just probably a good proactive measure to do it. Okay, any other comments? Okay, since it's a financial item, we will do a roll call.
Director Charest,
Aye.
Director Cunningham,
Aye.
Director Jarvis,
Aye.
Director Cooney,
Aye.
President Van Vliet,
Aye.
hearing 5, motion carries.
Thank you, Steve. All right, and last but not least, Susan. Tell you about the most exciting we had discussed today, the audit, the financial audit.
So exciting. Yes, I'm pleased to say that our annual audit has been completed and the board of directors is required to acknowledge the receipt of the annual audit. The auditing firm Carlson and Ferris has completed the audit for fiscal year April 30th, 2026 with no significant findings, which is a good thing. Staff recommends that the board of directors receive and file the annual audit report for the fiscal year ended April 30th, 2026.
Is there a motion to accept the audit results?
I'll move it.
Second?
Second.
Okay, second. Member comments or questions? Director comments?
I think, Susan, you are underselling the significance of no significant, the importance of no significant items. That for an audit of this size, for a community of that size, that is, that is truly notable and not a common outcome. And I don't think this is the first year where you've been driving it that has been true. Yes. So congratulations.
You're like the Dodgers are going to be.
You mean after they were swept?
Back to back to back.
Oh, I thought you meant how much they got swept this weekend. 1, 2, 3. It's confused. Red Sox.
Put you two next to each other anymore. All right. All in favor of approving the annual audit results, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hearing
Great.
5 in favor, motion carries.
Great work. Again, thank you, Susan, you and your team. It is a lot of work and we appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Thank you all, and I do have a very good staff that backs me up, so thank you.
All right. Well, Eric, how about the GM report?
Well, that was fast. Excuse me. Thank you all for coming. Welcome again to our 2 new board members. We're off to a great start, so looking forward to working with you guys. We had a good day so far today, and looks like we're cruising through our first open session, second open session, sort of. Okay, some quick updates. Completed our Eastport sidewalk project. We got a couple minor tweaks we're going to make on that project and call that one done. Happy Camp, we have installed a swim up dock, which is a nice improvement for Happy Camp. We should be starting our golf course bunker project later this month. And a little update on golden algae. If you're interested in this, we track all the testing that our consultant GEI does on our lake conditions update. We didn't get to talking about this today in our executive session, but Happy Camp and Indian Beach, the golden algae levels have spiked back up a little bit. Not an alarming level, but they've kind of been fluctuating up and down, surprising with how warm it is. But nothing to be majorly concerned about. It's kind of an up and down thing, and we track that graphically on our lake conditions
Here,
page.
quick question. What's the level?
I think it's in the 7,000s.
Okay.
10 and 12,000 is starting to be an alarming level. And I can forward the board the latest numbers, but they're already posted. I think I got those a couple days ago. It's just been a busy week already. This week we should be installing a pilot program on East Bay for an alternative golden algae potential treatment. That is an ultrasound technology. We're going to install 6 of these devices that send out ultrasound frequencies that are targeted to algae. I think I mentioned this in a previous board meeting. Basically, these frequencies render the algae immobile, and for them to stay alive and populate, they need to be able to move around. So we're excited to try this. It's a 90-day trial and 6 locations on East Bay. So we're optimistic about that. We've been trying it in our golf course lake and I've seen some improvement there. And we're going to do some testing to see exactly what the numbers are and what algae that has affected. So that's a no-cost pilot program to us. Darcy previously mentioned some algae experts. One of the algae experts that they're working with is a younger scientist, but pretty well known in the algae field. And she's excited about this ultrasound treatment. She's also excited about another treatment that we're looking at doing following this first pilot program. There are some companies that have installed floating islands with artificial islands with plants on them. And the plants and the roots of the plants in conjunction with aeration have caused many lakes that they've tested this on to show great improvements. In fact, Menifee Lakes actually had a golden algae problem. They installed these artificial floating islands in their lakes and their golden algae problem went away. Then they had a board in Menifee Lakes that decided whatever the cost was too much, and they removed these floating islands, and their golden algae problem came back. And in fact, we strongly suspect that our golden algae came from them. And so following this ultrasound trial program, we're not going to do them at the same time because we want to test one technology and then test another technology. We're hopeful that that may also help our golden algae issue. We're very concerned, same as all the residents, with our lake health and our fish population health. And so we're trying these 2 different things. As Darcy and Jeremy mentioned, we're also excited that Lej was going to be doing some lab testing about just what helps golden algae grow and what to do and what not to do. So those are 3 positive things about our lake health that we're excited for. And let's see what else. That's pretty much all I have this month. So thanks for coming, and again, welcome, guys.
Thanks, Eric. Okay, we will close with director comments. And Terry, you want to lead us off?
Yeah, thank you, Bill. So I just want to highlight the 28-day reading of General Rule 5.2C that Tiffany spoke about regarding the light requirements for the e-bikes. I just want everyone out there to understand that this is a very important safety rule that has been enacted in the California Assembly under Assembly Bill 544, designed to help protect e-bike riders by helping to make sure they are visible to drivers of vehicles at all hours of the day and night. So for all the parents out there, I just want to let you know this isn't just another rule that the POA is implementing to monitor e-bike use. It's actually a revision of our current GR 5.2C rule to meet the updated visibility requirements for e-bikes. And we're doing this so that we can help increase the safety level for all of the e-bike riders in our community. No one wants to see a serious accident, and we all know how difficult it is to see e-bike riders, especially at night. Too many times I've seen e-bikers riding at night without any headlights, without any rear reflectors, and they're just nearly impossible to see. So my request to all the parents out there that have kids that ride e-bikes and to all of the riders of e-bikes in our community, please abide by this new enactment of AB 544. Make sure your e-bikes have the required headlight and rear reflectors so that your loved one is not involved in any serious riding accident simply from not being able to be seen by other motorists. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that based on Eric's report there, the lake's #1 amenity. I drive home every day, excuse me, and there's nobody on the lake. It's the first time I've ever seen it. And with the testing comes a cost. And if things are going to happen, it's going to cost some money. And I think that people need to be made aware of that. And I think that, you know, the pilot test with 6 of the machines or whatever you want to call it that they're using, if 6 of those machines at a cost of $50,000 is going to fix the East Lake problem, I'd be surprised. And I'm not being negative. I'm just saying the cost is going to be high. And I think that, you know, responsibly, we need to prepare for that. That's about it.
No comments right now.
Well, first, I think you just stepped out, but the board does try to recognize the fact that we can't all be up here doing what we do without the support of our significant others. So to my husband, who I think has stepped out, but will hopefully see this, it's his birthday today. And he has tolerated me being gone for about 9 hours today. So I wish him a very happy birthday. Aside from that, one of the questions that I don't know why I have gotten asked maybe more or the same as others is regarding our tree out front. And we had a discussion about it today. And we have been notified, and I know some of you were going to say, duh, like we already knew that, but the tree is officially dead. And so Eric and his team will begin the process of when it's the right time to take it down and what are we going to do a replacement. No specific announcements tonight, just the acknowledgement that that it is a foregone conclusion at this point, and the board and Eric and operations and Steve are beginning to look at what alternatives might be in time for, you know, the appropriate holiday and festivities and the long-term future. So more to come in the next board meeting or two.
Another item we discussed in the executive sessions, we went through and defined the goals and objectives for this board and for the general manager in the meeting, and we will be presenting them at the September open session. But it falls kind of into 4 categories. One is that we need to exercise sound financial control and financial management. We need to enhance community safety and security. We need to execute projects as they're committed, and we need to demonstrate effective leadership. And then under each of those, we've got probably 6 different things, 6 different items as to how we measure we're going to do those. And we'll show you those next month. But I want to let you know now that we have a full board again, we've come up with specific tangible goals and objectives to keep moving the community forward. Another item we did in the last week is we've had a facility planning committee for 20, 30 years that has looked at our facilities, amenities, and what can we do to improve them and so forth. And we actually have had many members on that committee that have been with it for 20 years or so. And this month we are winding down that committee because I think they've done a great job in helping us get to where we are. But what we want to shift our focus going forward. And so one of the things we're going to be doing is while we're winding that committee down and thanking everyone for their service, we are going to be creating a new committee, a community planning committee, where the focus and the objective is, let's look at Canyon Lake for the next 20 years. What should it be? What should it look like? How does that impact our community? And what should we do differently as far as overall community planning? So it's a little more visionary and less on the tactical kind of operational things, which our operations team largely has covered. So that's coming. You'll hear more about it in the next coming weeks. And we will then make that open to members of the community who'd like to volunteer. We will be looking for volunteers to help staff that, and probably starting that committee in the January timeframe of next year. Let's see. The golf course bunker project for you golfers out there, that will be starting this month. I know that's a long-awaited project that has been anticipated for a number of years. And then the final thing I want to bring to everyone's attention is if you happen to be here, there's a package with security statistics in the back. And I invite everyone to look at that. I applaud the security or the community patrol and security manager for the e-bike citations. I noticed are up over 30 some odd this last month. So I know that's been emphasis. That's not inconsistent with summer, right? I mean, it's kind of what happens in the summer. But I also want to make a plea to parents. I know it's summer, and I know they're kids, and the kids will be kids. I get that too. That said, almost every day that I go by Vacation Drive and Canyon Lake Drive North, and there's e-bikes there, they almost universally, they always drive right through the stop signs. don't even stop. And aside from violations and that, this is really about safety. I would hate to see someone get hurt. So please talk to your kids. Just stop at the stop signs, obey the traffic laws. Tell them what the traffic laws are, because the last thing we want to do is see anyone get hurt or injured from that. So please do that. So just want to bring your attention to that. And that's all I have to add. The next meeting is Tuesday, September 1st. And so we'll be right back here in the same place in the same time. With that, let's see, is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes, I'll move it.
I'll second because I have the under. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Stay cool out there.